Okay, Cheltenham Festival time then, chaps. Both been okay last few weeks?
Yes, very well, thanks.
Yep.
Jolly good. First interesting fact, firm going.
A surprise for the first 10.
Yes, very, very, very much a surprise that firm going. I don't recall there ever being firm going at the real Cheltenham Festival.
I wonder if that will help people that have used their flat cast-offs more.
It should do.
Yeah.
Your flat horses tend to go better on firm going, and that could be why we haven't seen any whinging about it in the forums, because I expected, as soon as I saw firm, people to be going up the wall, but nobody has said a word.
Be interesting. I might throw up a few surprises.
I'm sure it probably will. Might even do us some good. You never know.
I think it would take more than firm ground.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I don't think I've got much of a chance this week. I don't know about you two. You got anything that you'd like to look off particularly, Doug?
I've got 2 or 3 in the best performers so far, and I'll see how they go. This meeting's pretty tough, the Cheltenham one, so
it is, isn't it? Virtually takes up the
meeting.
entire week, doesn't it, as well? It's not like Ascot where you've got plenty of other races. I think every single race this week is at Cheltenham, apart from about 4, I think. So if you don't
do you trial, when you trial guys, do you use Cheltenham?
Yeah, it's the only course I use.
Same here.
There's little point trying anywhere else, because we race at Cheltenham just about every week, don't we?
Yeah, that does appear to be a race.
So if you can't go around there, you might as well not bother. So anyway, let's take a look at these races. We've got 12 a day this year, which is why the going changes after 10, because they obviously forgot to change that bit over. Yeah, the going does change drastically after race 10. So we'll need to take that into account when we are making our selections. I see you've got another competition running still with Daniel.
Yeah, no, Daniel very kindly, Taunton, he very kindly put £20 of his own money up to run the Cheltenham competition. We did something similar actually last Cheltenham, slightly different format, which actually John Morgan won, if anybody does remember. But yeah, no, there's quite a few people involved, and I've added the little bonus of see who can guess how many pull-ups. Yeah, over.
Very interesting.
Well, just to make it a little bit more exciting when they do happen, I suppose.
Well, you realise you have given yourself a bit of a job there, because you can't trust the race card, as Doug found out yesterday when he discovered that horse he got the odd-seated its rider, that didn't, basically, because it didn't odd-seat its rider at all. If you watch the race, it just finished tailed off. And quite often, they put in that card that the horse has pulled up when it's actually fallen. So you're going to have to watch that.
I will. I'm suggesting I don't watch the races, is all you're saying. No, I do.
You can't assume everybody watches everything.
I will mark them down. I think I've got runners in quite a few of the Cheltenham races, so I'll have an interest anyway. But yes, no, it adds to it. Though I did think, even though I went with quite a high number, actually out of 29 races, we've hit numbers like 40s and 50s, and to be honest with you, it's only really the 3 mile classes. We don't usually have any pull-ups in anything below that. And there's only, 8, 9 races beyond 3 miles. Even if you've got 3 pulled up in every race, that's only 27, so I'm not sure anyone's going to get 100 points.
No, I think everybody's over-egged the pudding a bit there, haven't they? But there are sort of like 72 runners in the Gold Cup, so I think there'll probably be a few pull-ups in that one.
Yeah, no, true. Well, we'll see. It'll be interesting.
It will. Are we going to get it dead on, or is it the closest to it that wins?
No, I actually did say dead on, but I don't know. I might change the rules halfway along the line. Depends how well I'm doing.
You can't change the rules halfway through the season. You should know that.
Hold on a minute. This is Starters to 6th League. Of course you can change the orders halfway through the season. The rules.
Okay, let's have a look at this first race. Then it actually is the real proper first race of the festival as well. The Skybrit Supreme Novices Hurdle. Biggish looking field. Everybody's got one in just about, I think, in most races.
You haven't got one in this, Doug?
No. I don't even bother about G1.
Well, no, neither do I, but where else are you going to place them this week? That's kind of what I thought.
To be brutally honest, and I don't want to start a fight here or anything, apart from the few, and I do mean few, like 2 or 3 handicap races that have got a limit on them. They're virtually all Group 1s this week. Even the handicaps, all right, the top horses have got to give a bit of weight away. In most of the races, the handicaps, the entire field is out of the handicap, apart from about 3, so it's...
that's maybe something we have to look towards, as in, do we rate the... to even it out, maybe we have a maximum rating of 160 or less, I don't know. And then everything, obviously, we don't necessarily have to have horses rated 165. The max rating will be 150, and everything obviously gets knocked down from there. But then, I don't know, just trying to make those handicaps a little bit more realistic. Fantasy. Tough one. I don't know.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Tough job handicapping.
Doesn't matter in this first race, does it? Because it's not a handicap.
Serenissima, Leon Van Rensburg.
Yeah, a lot of people have gone for Leon in the competition, and I kind of forgot about him a little bit. But I think
people can remember what he did last year. He won every big race at Cheltenham, didn't he, last week? And he's one of the few people who concentrates
says he doesn't trial at Cheltenham, which is very strange. If he does, then win everything and doesn't. Now I'm going to I think Paul will win a lot more at Cheltenham than people have given him any kind of credit for. So I'm going to go for Baton Rouge.
That's the first kiss of stew then. Lily Lightning I think I will go for. David Robertson is another one who concentrates more on the jumps and the flat, so he's a quietish sort of season for him, I think.
Yeah, he won last time out, so
he'll come good this week, I think. I know a few winners, so I'll go for that one.
Under the second.
The first of the big chases. This is the first big novice chase, which means he's got all the best 2 mile chases to be in this then, won't it? Because it's a novice race.
I mean, I suppose Jim's got one in there, and you expect Jim to do well. I'll go for one of Jim's Misty Lock Girl. I assume Jim will do well at Cheltenham, I think. Although it says softish and it's firm ground, anything could surprise us here. But no, I'll go with Jim. Sorry, Jim. Misty Lock Girl.
It's only about 3 times that one, so he's obviously been saving that one up.
I'm going to go for the best named horse in the field. That's Gnaeus Pompeius Magnus Colin Clark.
Okay, I thought you were going to say Mr. Ben.
No, that's a great name. Colin's pulled out there. I don't know how he's done it.
Well, I think he's probably named it after. You think he's named it after Mr. Ben? You're talking about Gnaeus Pompeius Magnus, aren't you? I was talking about Mr. Ben. You see, that's the difference. You're sort of up there being all intelligent and stuff, and I'm talking about kids' TV programs from the 70s. Mr. Ben used to go into a changing room, put fancy dress on, and then go through a door and end up in a little fantasy world, which is back to fantasy worlds again.
Is that not when we turn our computers on, we go into a fantasy world?
Yeah, we're all Mr. Bens, aren't we? I don't know if the Mr. Ben ever put a jockey suit on and a jockey outfit on, and went and rode in the Grand National. But,
well, I think Gnaeus Pompeius Magnus was actually a Roman general back in 106 BC. Just for your information.
We're all being rather sort of intelligent today, aren't we? So I suppose that leads me to sort of tip Sister Sledge, I suppose. Bring it back down to my level, and let's have a winner for Grey, shall we? And we are family, just so we can hear Doug singing it as it crosses the line.
Old Gnaeus will win this one. It's going to be the biggest upset of the meeting.
Who knows? Well, that will move us on to race 3, though, which is the Ultima handicap chase, which is the first handicap over 3 miles.
Well, it's the first handicap, but look at the top one. It's £26 better than all the rest, which means that there's only £4 left, because the handicap's only spread £30 these days, don't they? So the poor old jockeys don't have to starve. So basically, there's only really the top 4 in the handicap. The rest of them are all skewed weights, which is just silly.
Yeah, but there's a couple of horses in here that like firm ground, including my own. This could be one of the races that could surprise, I think, because of the ground. I think your 9 Stone 12 has got a chance if they, go on firm ground. I really do. And that means I'm going to go down the bottom end of it.
He's still winning £6 out of the handicap. It's not right that the horses should be this far out of the handicap, I don't think. But anyway,
something to look at for the future. We know. Add it to the list.
So are you tipping yourself then in this?
Nah, I doubt it. It's pulled up a couple of times. I think it's one. I like my density horses. There's several of them. All colourful bunch.
I'm surprised you haven't seen a density beige yet when you're feeling a bit sort of like a normal sort of horse that's not very good. Maybe.
Well, that obviously never made it that one. Now, I might stick my neck out and really go for the top one here. I mean, he's yards ahead of anybody else rating-wise, and I think I'll go for Snowstorm for Joshua.
I'll go for War Secretary.
War Secretary, yeah. Well, there you go. See, even a Paul Rhodes horse running out of the handicap, it's a little bit strange, and I'm not having a go here, by the way, at the people that put the top weights in necessarily. It's not their fault that's the rating they've got, because more often than not, the top weights don't win either, because they can't carry the weight. What it does, though, when they put them in, it skews all the middle horses, because technically speaking, your horse, Stu, should be getting £2 off War Secretary. But it isn't. You're both running off the same weight. So if the top weight, the one that's totally skewed the handicap, pulls up after the first circuit, which it quite possibly will, and then horse secretary goes and beats you by half a length. Do you know what I mean?
But nice, yeah, no, I agree with you. No, I totally agree with you. It does. You're right. Anything that's out the handicap is not really running in a handicap anymore. It's running under. I don't know what the answer is. I'm going to go for Molliet's for he sort of seems to be doing all right this year, doesn't he? Sugar Caline, that looks interesting. I'll go for that one. Champion Hurdle.
The Champion Hurdle, yeah, the big race of day one, although probably isn't the big race of day one. It's sort of like the joint big race of day one because we've got Champion Chase on day one as well now.
Well, the big question here is Preconcerto going to win?
Well, Preconcerto is my one Group 1 winning horse. It won a Group 1 last year at Punchestown in a small field, but it is one of those bizarre things that it's a horse that likes firm ground. I know it doesn't say so on the card. I just didn't bother changing that when I entered the horses because it doesn't make any difference. It's a totally pointless thing to change. I don't know why it's even there because unless you just use it for your own sort of so you know yourself. I'm very much on the theory of you don't tell anybody anything you don't have to. So you don't have to tell anybody. So I don't. It's a firm going horse. That is the only thing that puts it in with a chance. The fact that it does seem to run pretty well, quite a lot though. So I'm expecting a showing from it, but I don't think it'll win.
Oh, it'll win.
I don't think it'll win though.
Who would you choose then? I mean, you're going to get to
I'm
go
going
first.
for David Robertson, Strict Lily. It's won the last 2 times, and it's going to win again.
It's very hard because, like you say, it's hard to say whether any of these lower rated horses have just, been running without looking at everything form-wise. Now, I go for Paul's Dunedin, and it's constantly there or thereabouts. As I said, I think Paul's going to do much better than people imagined.
Parodies, another Leon horse.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one was around last season. I don't know whether it won last year, I can't remember, but it certainly was around last year, and it down to won something. So, got to be in with a squeak, I would guess. So, on to the Glen Farkless, which is the cross-country race where they jump over hedges and show jumping fences and run up and down banks and stuff. You'll have fun commentating on this one, Doug.
Oh, yeah, it's with no rails and stuff, isn't it?
This will be the first race where we get all the pull-ups.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah, you'll get a few in this and quite a few fallers probably as well because they're not the normal
Looks like we've got double entries in here as well, so this is just going to be a nightmare.
It is. It's going to be a bit of a tricky one. This because I think the course is quite twisty and turny as well, from what I can remember. So you'll either get lots of long shots or you won't get them all in the screen. So you'll have to be guessing a lot of the time.
I'm going to go with Spyro Haven Thunderspark.
That's not a bad call. That.
I quite like mine. I mean, it came 5th in the Welsh National, and then I think it came 2nd in the West National, Wales National after that, and 4th last week. The only thing is it prefers a bit of cut in the ground, and I think that otherwise I'd expect it to certainly give a show. I mean, maybe if it probably wouldn't win, maybe I'm just trying to be excited about one of my own horses, especially if I look up the card. But I think Paul might have another winner here in either Zaba or Lord Vader. I mean, Lord Vader's 128. It's tops 134. So a few pounds. I'll go for Lord Vader for Paul.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because you don't know how they're going to go with a course because they want to run over it, sort of thing in the league. Anyway, because it's the only race we have over this.
Because that's the one where they kind of go up the little ledge. It's a bit more like a what's that? Like a dressage kind of course, isn't it?
Like eventing, isn't it?
Cross country, yeah.
Yeah, we need what's her name? Prior Palmer, whatever she used to be called in the 70s. In this, I'm going to go for Resistencia, Darren Thompson. Don't know why.
Good choice.
Just there or thereabouts quite a bit, and that one is towards the bottom of the handicap. The handicap's much more better spread in this race, by the way, so I moaned about last time. This one, most of them are actually in the handicap, so it should be a proper race.
Yeah, it should be a good one to look forward to.
Yeah, we can look forward to it, Stu, because we haven't got to commentate on it.
Cool. Yeah.
Do this one.
I'll enjoy watching that Sunday night, Doug. Thanks.
Let's move on to race 6.
Yeah, the David Nicholson Mares Hurdle. Big Fern again.
I don't think I've had a runner yet. This is the 6th race and I haven't had a runner.
Oh, Doug.
You see, that's sad, isn't it? Because, I mean, how many jump horses have you got then, Doug, in your stable now?
Around 20.
And how many have you managed to get in?
No more than 20.
How many have you managed to get in this week?
Probably about 10 to 15. But, a lot of these races, any of the grade races, besides 2 of my horses that are doing all right in grade Grade 2, especially Grade 3, but it's only 2 horses. They're probably more preferred to a handicap grade race. The rest, they're just low rank. I could have put every one of them in, but I just don't see what the point is for. Just they're not going to do nothing. They're going to run last. So I thought,
It's probably something that does have to be looked at, isn't it? That we've got to try and be a bit more inclusive to the lower level trainer and give them some races that they can actually have a chance in as well, even if it's even if it's running a different meeting.
Cheltenham's a big carnival. Yeah,
at the same time.
I get it that Cheltenham's a big carnival, but if it's just a one-off week, that's all right. Yeah, I think the hunt definitely needs more lower rated races.
It does, because
140 for me is just too high.
It is, yeah, and a lot of handicaps are open and 160 anyway. So, and because you can only put one horse in most of the races, then the big trainers are putting their 140, 150 horses in the handicaps, and you can't blame them for that. But there should be a set of races, even if it has to be somewhere else this week, so that the other people have got a choice. They can put their horses in these races if they just want to have a runner, or they can run at Cartmel on day 3. So they've got some interest that
Cheltenham 2 or something. Maybe the week after or the week before. We can't be the week after because of the national, but maybe the week before we do a Cheltenham 2.
Yes! Brighton scored!
That don't happen very often, does it, Doug? So I suppose we'll
What, Murray the tax invader? He shouldn't even be playing.
Usually he's offside, this time he was onside.
How good. Who's that you playing? West Ham?
Yeah.
Get in there. I'm not a big West Ham fan, so come on, Brighton.
Hang on, let's see if he's on.
Was it an African player that scored? Was it that big?
Oh my God! This is the worst piece of defending you'll ever see in your life.
Typical.
And I don't know much about this game, but that was bad. That was bad. The second highest Englishman scoring in the PL, and he's been left alone, and no one's gone to him. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'll take that.
It's early days yet, though. It's only not 3:10, so you got a long time to hang on yet.
It's only 8 minutes into the game.
Okay, then back to the other fantasy world. We've got the fantasy world of Brighton winning. Now we've got the fantasy world of this racing. what do we reckon's going to win this?
Oh, sorry. That was obviously Man United. I've gone. Okay, sorry. Right, back to this. I have to say I like Doug's Black Stick Paradise. When it came second in a Group 1, and it only got beaten, I think, it only got beaten by a length or so. But since then, it's one of those races, what I find here is I can't ever seem to get any consistency in my horse. He comes second in a Group 1, and then I think the 5th was in a handicap, and then last time out in a Group 2, nowhere. So it's a kind of frustrating thing. And I like Doug's Plastic Paradise, Doug. It's got a chance in this, but whether it'll win, I don't know. And you shouldn't really shout my own up. Sounds terrible. Bearing that in mind, I'm going to go for Made in Europe for Martin Leadham.
Well, if it improves £70 again, it'll win by about a street, won't it? I can't believe that. How you get to go up £70 for winning one race? It was a total fluke that winning that race last week. It'll probably come last, Stu. I don't have any idea how that won last week at all. It's a chaser. I don't know.
Had you run over hurdles before in the league?
I'd run it over hurdles a couple of times, and it had actually done all right. But it's better. It's better over fences, I think. And it won over those national fences last year. It won that SO6 final, and basically because it's a mare and it goes 2.5 miles, it can get in the mares races. So sometimes it's the only one I can get in, and because you've got 30 horses in your stable, and half the time there's only 34, 35 races. Some of them are novices that you can't get them into. You forget the national flat race because that's not a real race anyway. You ain't got many choices left, and poor old Made in Europe quite often gets what's left. And so last week it just got put into that Group 2 hurdle race because it was the only race left and the only horse left, basically. And I just like putting them in. I don't see the point in not running them, especially considering that when we do the commentating and stuff, you want to have some interest in the races that you're not commentating on, so there's something you don't know about. So that's why it was in. So it was a total fluke. And so, of course, that race, it's had to go in this race again this week because there aren't that many 2.5 mile races, but I don't think it'll win.
Okay, but funny enough, there's something similar a little bit further down the card. Paul's horse Montserrat, 150 rated chaser, and it's only 104 rated hurdler. It sounds like it's also could be a sneaky one, a bit like you last week. Who knows? But I'm still going to tip your Made in Europe.
Okay, well, I'm going to go for La La Belle because it just sounds like one of the Teletubbies.
No, it does say chases its first choice.
It's the same with Made in Europe, isn't it? So maybe that will do what mine did. But if Chase is its first choice, how come it's never run in a chase then? Because look at its handicap mark for chasing, it's 100, so it's obviously never run. So it can't really be first choice chaser, can it? Okay, David Brighton still winning. Have you got a horse in this, or are you too busy watching football?
Yeah, I'll go for St. Yester, Aaron Thompson. It's got a good rating. It's just a hurdler, one of those 137. Looks like it hasn't run at all over the chase, so that's the only reason why I'm going for it.
Good call. Aaron Thompson's horses are running well.
Yeah, no, they do. They do.
Okay, race 7 then, the Close Brothers Novices Handicap Chase. I have got absolutely no idea who the Close Brothers are.
No, I don't know who they would be either.
Maybe they make Wellington boots or something, I don't know.
Yeah, no. Isn't it close as in shut the door? Rather than close.
Close, isn't it? Because you know.
Close. Oh, close, yeah, no, close. Oh, dear.
Brothers, isn't it? So Close. It's got to be Close Brothers, isn't it? Because it's like, that's a name, isn't it? Close. Mr. Close.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get Mr. Close, do you?
Well, you might.
Well, I don't know.
There's some strange surnames in the world.
There are, indeed.
Oh, they're a merchant banking group. There you go.
Are they? Oh, well,
Yeah.
I might know they'd be full of merchant bankers, this place. Anyway.
Okay, well, who's going to go first on this one? It's a strange. It's a small field.
Yeah, Doug's got one in this. This is Doug's debut race.
Oh, Mr. and Ms. Close.
Hang on, we're back in possession.
You're never going to get
Just
two.
outside the box. What this is going to go in yours?
It depends who West Ham have got in goal. If they've got Hart in goal, you'll get about 5.
No, I think it's the wee Spaniard, isn't it?
Looking for a corner here. I don't really overtly fancy mine. Here we go. Oh, Folsom Prison. Another Leon horse. It just probably hasn't really done much, but it's probably the weakest field it's come into. So I'll go with that one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, as I said, there's only a couple of the real top boys in here, which probably does give them an opportunity to some of the others. But it could be anything from falling. Not that many. I don't know. No, I think top of the pile as well. I mean, he's vastly better than anything else that's running rating wise. I'm going to go for Chase the Witch for Joshua.
I'll tell you what, if Chase the Witch falls, this race is wide open.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument for suggesting this is probably the weakest race of the week because
Jason King's in it.
well, when you look at the runners and you look at their form, it's not a particularly good race at all, to be honest. And Chase the Witch is better over hurdles apparently, and it will 8 the grand, so you can almost rule that one out straight away. It's an opportunity really for some of the lesser people to maybe have got a win, but not everybody seems to put one in, so it's a bit funny, isn't it? So I don't know really. I'm going to go with a question that I ask a lot whenever I hear people with a certain accent or I visit a certain city. I'm going to go for red or blue.
Okay. Oh, you can. I think that's the first runner I've seen so far from Marty. I might be wrong. But he's had a couple. No, he's done very well the last couple of weeks, though, hasn't he, since he came back? And he likes firm ground, so you might have picked a good one there, Mark.
Yeah, I think we've got to give him some congratulations, haven't we? Did he just say he's just had babies and things and stuff? So that's.
I think there's one due, isn't it? I don't know. You might be right.
Yeah, one on the way, I think.
One on the way, yeah.
Right, so race 8 then, the Neptune Investment Novices Hurdle. This is the last race you're commentating on, Doug, so we'll let you start off on this one. And
yes, so another G1, so that's why there's none of mine in it. I'm just going to go. Ooh, this is a strong race. It's going to be one of the top ones. Illusionist, Poor Roads.
Poor old Darren Howes reckons his horse is useless. Mine's pretty useless as well. Gronkowski will be busy getting ready for the Super Bowl, so he won't win. I don't know. It's
Gronkowski a patriot?
Yeah, a cheat. Oh, I really
he does some comedy show. Have you seen it?
Perhaps that's what it's named after, I think. I don't know. Maybe it's
okay.
I've got a sneaky feeling that one or two of Jamie Hopkins' horses have got some American sports collection. I'm pretty sure he's got one called Kornheiser. There's a bloke called Tony Kornheiser who does some wacky radio program about sport in America. So perhaps that's named after him. But while we're talking about the Super Bowl, let's hope those Patriots get walloped because I really don't like them.
Well, I don't think anybody likes them today. I think generally, rather than new Patriot fans, but I think generally most of America are not happy that they keep winning.
No, it's Bill Belichick is the bad winner. I think he's worse than a bad loser in many ways, and he's just I'll never forgive him. I'll never forgive him for the deflate gate business. Also, the way they cheated the Steelers earlier this season when that touchdown got disallowed, which was ridiculous. Anyway, not talking about that, are we? Some of our girl, Jim Murray.
Okay, I'm going to follow you in with that because that's what I think will win as well. Some of our girl.
So, race number 9, small field, but a pretty good looking one. What does everybody like the look of?
Well, I like just looking at it very briefly. The top one, I mean, Glimmering, a couple of wins in the third. Right, it fell a few back, but I think this one's one for Thunderspark, Glimmering.
Pocahontas for me. Just it hasn't won yet, or it might have won, but hasn't won for a while, so I'd say it's due.
I don't think there's ever been a German winner of a race at Cheltenham, so he's probably he's probably won one already in last season or something. But in real life, I can't recall there ever being a German horse running at Cheltenham. So he's
yeah, it's the second run. Top horse, isn't it? It's the second best rated horse in the field, so yeah, he could be
so I think
there.
That might be his second winner of the day. I think from my point of view, I'm pretty sure I tipped one of his earlier, didn't I?
You did. Well, that moves us on to the Coral Cup, which is the handicap 2 mile 5, where I should have put probably Doug's Plastic Paradise. Really, only the first 5 are in the handicap, aren't they?
I'll go for Tornado Alley and Aaron Thompson's up there. Don't know why it's got a 146 rating. It doesn't appear to have done a lot.
Only the one is, he's got a couple in there, hasn't he? He's got Osprey as well. Jim's only put 1 in it, so he must feel fairly confident with Imperial Bellboy.
Well, I'm not surprised. He's rated 172. He wants to be able to win pulling a card.
Well, maybe. Well, I'm going to go for the bottom weight in the true handicap, which will probably be Eagle Has Landed. So, Joshua, I think Eagle Has Landed, and I like the film.
That's as good a reason as any, I suppose. I'm going to go against everything that I believe in, which is like you don't bet on horses out of the handicap because you're giving everybody else a start. But because I can't say its name, it's one of those ones that I just can't get me tongue around its name, and I haven't got a commentator on this race because this is your first race, Stu.
It is, isn't it?
So I'm going to do Aussie Priss. Which ought to be easy. I don't know if it's called Aussie Priss or Aussie Priss or what. It's just one of those ones. I get a mental block about that completely.
I'll suppress, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I have the problems. I have to say, Moylet's Phenomenon horses always cause me a problem. He's named quite a few of them, although not in this particular race, thank God. Anyway, well, that's it then. Oh no, Doug, who do you feel might win?
Yeah. Didn't I say Tornado Alley?
Oh, you did, yeah. So, well, we've all tipped something then. We should move on.
Yeah, is this your debut Cheltenham Festival race, Still? Were you around at Cheltenham last year, or is this your first commentary at Cheltenham? I can't remember.
It's I think my first guy. Actually, I think I joined in. I missed the National, so no, it was only the last 2 weeks I was with you. I think 12 and 13. So this will be my first time. Sorry, people.
A baptism of fire then for you. About 72 runners going around, because this is one of those races where you could sneakily get 2 in that nobody knew about, and everybody seemed to have found out about it. Did put 2 in, and you got the bizarre thing. If you look at it, you got Paul Rhodes has got one rated 99, which is like 73 pounds inferior to Imperial Valboy. Apparently, I don't believe that Paul Rhodes could ever have a horse that is 73 pound inferior to anybody else's. But
yeah, no, well, it looks like a chaser though, doesn't it? In fact, I don't think it. When did it? Has it ever ridden? Well, obviously, it must have gone over hurdles. Actually, its very first race was over a hurdle. It's maiden its first race. They didn't run into another hurdle until last week. Other than that, it's been winning coming places in Group 3s and Group 2s and Group 1s over the chase. So it probably deserves to be down that way. It won't win. Sorry, Paul.
Could be a live outsider, couldn't it? If it was in the handicap proper, you'd tip it definitely. So anyway, race 11 next is the second really big race of the day, supposedly, the Queen Mother Champion Chase.
We went for a handball in the box and they didn't call it.
Well, back to the Queen Mother then, if everybody's anybody's interested, like.
Of course.
So I'm gonna kick things off here, and I'm gonna go for Frogger.
Interesting. Yeah, no, Gray. I would have thought has probably got some horses that will probably do very well at Cheltenham.
Well, I expect Frogger can leap.
I came second in this last year with.
Really?
My name is Frank. Yeah, the name is Frank, should I say. Yeah, came second, got beaten by Paul's horse.
No, they've equalised.
So, yes, I came second last year in this, which was good. I don't have a runner in this year. I don't have any 2-milers. They're just... Nothing. I do. I have Arabian Hands, but it's not going to win. It's right down the bottom. Let me think who's going to win it. I'll go for Juanita Torfian for Darren Thompson. I haven't tipped any of this. Got some form. I think it's always there or thereabouts. So I think, and it likes firm ground. Oh no, we changed to good to soft, obviously.
Yeah, there's been a bit of a downpour between race 10 and race 11, and loads of people throwing buckets of water over the course and stuff with a hose pipe and stuff. Maybe the sprinkling system breaks down or something. There's a delay. Racing is cancelled for an hour or two while they get all the water.
That's a big old park well, not park, should I say, course. Big old course to water it all the way around.
Well, it is a park. It's Prestbury Park, so it is a park. You were right first time.
Oh, okay. Oh, gee. Anyway, Juanita Torfian for me. Or Torfian, sorry.
I would have gone for that as well. If it had been run an hour earlier when the ground was still firm. I'm going to go for Aegis Comanche, Colin Clark. I want to see if one or two different people get a win this week, and I think.
Well, that leads us on to the last race of the day, which is the Year of the National Hunt Chase, which is the 4-miler. I think it's got a cap on this. Can't remember what the cap is. I think it's 120, isn't it? So it's obviously kept a lot of 4-mile horses out of the race that are probably lining up for the National next week. But looking at the field, I think this is going to be a good race. Everybody's in the handicap. Where's yours, Martin? Fine Kingdom.
Well, Fine Kingdom is the one that's run into that open wide for the last 2 weeks on a trot, and he's been second in the last 2 weeks running. It's been open wide first, Fine Kingdom second, and both times they've both been running sort of out of the handicap, which is rather silly. And the first time, neither of them changed at all. Don't know why, don't know what happened. Maybe the race got missed off, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how you can have a handicap race where the first and second, their handicap marks don't change. So if it had changed, then I think Fine Kingdom probably would have won last week. But having said that, Fine Kingdom would have gone up as well. So probably the horse that came third or fourth would have beaten one anyway. So it's all swings and roundabouts, isn't it? But
yeah.
To be brutally honest, the reason that Fine Kingdom has gone in this race and not gone in the one that I wanted to put it in, which was the Midlands National, is the fact that Open Wide has gone in that, and they will both be queued out of the handicap again. So it's pointless taking it on when it's not going to get its first thing. I don't know. It could do okay. It's better than Electric Mill. This is a thing we'll get to later in the week. Everybody going on about my Electric Mill horse because it won a couple of races earlier in the season. Fine Kingdom beats Electric Mill every single trial race.
Well, that's kind of making you want to tip that, doesn't it? I don't like to give you the kiss of death, though, Martin.
I think quite a few people would quite like you to give me the kiss of death, to be honest.
Elfberg for James Follis, sort of race he'll pop up and win again. Unfortunately, likes firm ground, but it's got reasonable form there. Yeah, it might have fallen last time out, but no, I'm going to go for James's Elfberg.
Well, I like Martin's horse here, and I'll go with Martin's horse, but I'll just also have King of Dubai, because I reckon this is a sort of a Darren Howes race as well. You could pick it up, and it does like softish ground, so I'm not going in his favour, but I'll go with Fine King.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, this is one of my few chances of a win. I'm really not in the mood to tip myself, so I think Southern Quest, Kevin Minahan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an open race, this one.
It is. So that's day one then. 12 races this year, and all three of us behind the mic at some point as well. So it'll be interesting. I dare say there'll be a live stream where probably all of the races will probably be in it.
I think Gray had mentioned that he was going to run all the races on the live, so we won't get any flack. We might. It'll just go on for a long time.
Yeah. So that's it then. We'll be back tomorrow.
Okay then.
Sounds good.